Alright, so here's the Jeep shocks off the Jeep. They're about 30 years old, maybe a little bit older. Got us a 992 pass at what, 146-ish? 144, 146. Let's see if they're still good. Oh yeah. But they're not going out. We've been racing with blown shocks. No good. Let's try the other side. That one's worse. Which side's a little worse? Maybe that's why we're always going to the right, huh? Yeah. 30-year-old shocks are blown out. Let's upgrade. All right, so we need to get some new leaf springs for the Jeep. These ones are 30 plus years old as well. And then we'll also need to get some cow tracks for it as well, due to the fact we probably got a lot of axle twists. That's why we're breaking a lot of stuff. So right now we're gonna get some measurements off the old leaf springs and stuff like that, so we can get everything ordered from cow tracks. So one of the things it's asking for is the width of the leaf spring. So what you do is you take your tape measure, go across both sides, and then we get 2.5 inches. So that's the width of the leaf. Where'd that socket go? Oh, my legs. I think, yeah, that ain't gonna work. Shit. What? That shit was fucking loud. There one, you bolt off. You see that? So our leaf spring was, you see right here? You take this out of here. You see that right there where it broke off? So I think our axle was a little bit off because the little dowel pin and the leaf spring was broke and the plate was right here. So it looks like we might have been an inch off, possibly. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I think is going on. I think this is where we're at. So looks like our axle was not lined up correctly. All right, well, we'll keep going. Shit the brake. I think that's what's causing everything to act up, if that's what it was. I mean, it looks like we have a mark right here, so I think that's what our issue was. Alrighty, alrighty. I'm gonna have to go back with all new hardware and everything. Make it look good. Alrighty. So we need to really get the axle out. And then we take the leaf springs out and measure the leaf springs out there and get the correct measurements we need. So let's get started on that. That went right in the fucking old bucket. So you're fishing out of that diff bucket tonight? Yeah, you are. Don't get that crap on me. Nasty ass differential fluid. All right, let's move over to the other side real quick. And I roll bar off. Let's work on getting these U-bolts loose. Yes, I know I'm using a 3/8 impact. Should be using a 1/2 inch. I don't feel like jacking the car up no more. She did. Oh. We're gonna go new hardware on everything in the rear end, so we're not gonna have no issues for next year. Also, looking at getting a set of wheelie bars for this thing so we can go deep 8s, maybe 7s one day. Wife keeps telling me, no 7s. Those rear ends been under this car since the early 2000s. It's never been pulled out besides the third member twice. So, I don't know, the third member's only been out, I think, no, it's been out twice. Once, when we broke the axle, it was a 28 spline axle, then we went to a 31 spline, and then now, since we broke the pinion. So, all right, we got the rear end unbolted. Let's get her pulled out. So, best way to do that, let's drop, pull that out. Damn, feel how heavy that is. I think about 25 pounds. Save some weight right there getting rid of that thing. Here's a little degree thing to get your pinion angle, which we never truly verified pinion angle either, so we could have been pretty off on the pinion angle as well. So with this whole new rear end setup we're doing, we're going to go through it and verify everything on it because we don't want to keep breaking crap. Just hold it right there. Just hold it down so you hold pressure on it. Why is your arm shaking? Why is your arm shaking? I can't do it one. Caught the fuel lines. There we go. There is our rear end housing. Oh. Smell that in there? Should I drink it? And also, we're gonna do some washing because we dirty. So now we got the housing out of there. We need to clean that housing up or something. Just throw some black paint on there. Let's do some measurements of the leaf springs. You see this one though? Had a nipple on there. Oh, yep. Looked like it broke too. See that? Down there, it's a shiny piece. See, we're supposed to measure right there. Come over to this side. Right there. See that bolt? That's the centering bolt for the axle. And it just, I mean, that's a tiny little, looks like 1/4 inch bolt that they're doing that, and it just broke off. Yeah, see this one? Oh yeah, this one had one at one point. It's flush, broke right there. Yeah. Alrighty, there's that. Got the housing out of there. So when you go from, let's get this pulled out real quick. My impact, please. Huh? My impact, please. I thought you would grab the impact too. I thought you would have grabbed that when you were over there. Alright, let's see. There's one leaf spring bolt out. Gotta run to the truck and grab a bigger socket. There we go. It is 33. There we go. There's one leaf sprung out. Alright, on to the other side. And also another plan of action for when we do a lot more drag and drives is having a checklist for nuts and bolts, because we've run across a lot of loose things. There we go. There's another one out there. So now we'll get some measurements off of these. Yeah, that one's got a lot more arch in it. Look at that side. It's not very arched, is it? The leaf springs are pretty wore out. That's got a lot less arched on it. Crazy as hell. So it says measuring arch area. So that one's not gonna have a lot of arch. Once it's measured the center out of there, the center of the eye. Hold that right there if you don't mind. Is that pretty much centered right there? Is that pretty centered too, you think?
Yeah.
Does it look like 21 inches centered?
Is the tape measure's not flat down here? Yeah.
Not 21 now. Look at it. Measured. Center.
The way it makes it seem is like it has to follow all the way down.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
You have to get one of those like clothing ones.
Well, no, you gotta follow the center here. So if you do like.
But if you get a clothing thing, it lays flat and it just goes.
Oh, wait, hold it right there actually. Because that's center there. 21 inches. Yeah, alright, 21 inches. So we need to put 21 inches. Front spring length, 21 inches. Alright, and then how do we do the eyelet thing? So you need to put the eyelet thing, like highlight it. Dot, highlight, check, don't matter. Right, the standard one. Alright. And so the next thing we need to do is measure the outside diameter bushing. Measure the bushing. And then number 2, measure inside diameter. And then length. Okay, let's get that. Both sides should be theoretically the same. So we need to measure outside diameter of the bushing. So zero that out. Is it on the metal lip over there? On the metal lip? On the metal lip? Or is it on the rubber?
Yeah, on the rubber actually.
That one got a better bite you can get on there somewhere? That looks like it right there. So what? 1.4745. Come over here. What do we do? Where you go to?
Is that oh, right there?
This one?
Wait, no, where'd I go to? There's a check mark or a box. Click that mark again. Oh, type text right there.
Then you come right here, and we got 1.4745. Inside diameter, we're looking at. What are we looking at for the inside? Come right here. Inside, we are 0.8610. 0.8610. What we're going to do is also verify that one is relatively close, or it's most likely going to be the same. I just want to verify though. Now we need to do the bushing length. Which we are at 2.7440. 2.7440. Oh, no time. 2.7440. All right. Then measure rear end axle perch. So we got to measure the axle perch, the tube diameter. Okay. And the shock was on the mounting plate. So we'll bring the axle over here. Thing's so heavy. So the axle perch is 2.5230. 2.5230. Axle tube diameter is 3.0710. It's a 3-inch axle tube. All right. Rear shock. All right, so we need to go back to this, right? Then click check. Check mark. So rear shock end type, bottom shock were a eyelet style end, and then we're rear mounted on plate, mounted to rear plate. All right. Shock location. Or a B. And an A. Measure top of axle 2 inches below springs. So, will you grab me one of those U-bolts real quick? And then we're just going to see how long they are. So, they said available lengths 7 and 9 inches, which these are 10 inches long. So it looks like we might have to go to get our own, but I'll put 10 inches in there just so they have it. All right. So let's just go ahead and double check everything on this one now, just to see if we're pretty much similar. So we got 1.5030. I'm gonna say 1.5030. 1.5. We're gonna change this one. So I can get a little bit better bite on this. 0.50. Yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. Inside diameter. This one should be accurate though. Yep. Yep. Bushing length. 2.7. Yep. And then perch width will be the same. That'll be the same. Da, da, da. Yep. I think we're good to go. We can measure if we really wanted to. We can take this, go from center, hold that right there, center. About center right there to center right there. 21 inches, yeah. Yep, I think we are good to go on that. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it and look forward to the next video.